The Meiji Corporation is based out of Japan and makes everything from milk and ice cream to sports drinks and pizza. Its confectionery branch includes brands such as Yan Yan and Hello Panda. Today we will put three of Meiji's finest bars, the milk chocolate, black chocolate, and Himilk, to the test. Japanese chocolate is in the spotlight right now on You Tried Dat. You Tried Dat. I'm Nick Novak from the Palace Jade Hancock.
Konnichiwa.
Nick Geiger.
Hello.
A little update from last week.
Yes.
When Chad told me that there's no reason I shouldn't have given his number to the spin class place. So I promptly gave them his number. Have you blocked it already, or are they still calling you?
No, I did not block. So they texted me, and I ignored the text. Then they sent another text and I ignored that one too. And then they gave me a phone call. Now, okay, I'm in California. You're 2 hours ahead of me, so
Right.
I guess 8 o'clock in the morning is a reasonable time to call someone to ask them about a spin class. But it's 6 o'clock in the morning here. Now, I was actually up already because I had gotten up to piss in the middle of the night, 5 minutes before. But I was like, "What is this?" So finally, I just and they left some message "Hey, we'd love to have you join our class. I feel like you'd be a great fit." And I'm like, "You don't know anything about me."
Did you find it funny, or were you pissed off?
No. I was laughing. I thought it was funny. So finally I sent them a text. I'll see if I can find it. Oh, I must have deleted it. But I sent them a text that was just "Hey, I'm not coming to the class. I live in California." And then the person replied and said "Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I don't know how I got your number." And then that's the last thing I heard from them.
Great.
I should have told them how I got their number. This fuckhead in your spin class.
Right.
My asshole friend.
See if they accost me next time I go in there.
You get negative 500 points to start your next spin class or whatever.
God.
You have to work by.
Right.
Now try to catch Craig.
Right. We're lining you up right next to Craig. No. All right. We're back to the mailbag this week. The old mailbag. It's full, so we're going to empty it out a little bit. Let's take a listener question here. This one's from Clara. It says,
Hi, this is Clara. Who would you rather face in a fight? 5 13-year-olds or 13 5-year-olds?
okay. 5 13-year-olds, 13 5-year-olds.
Clara. Thanks, Clara.
Geiger, why don't you start this? What, 5 13-year-olds, 13 5-year-olds?
This is kind of like the recent thing we talked about with the bears and the chicken-sized bears and all that. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
I mean, my son's 14. He's 6'2". I've watched him play basketball. There's a lot of big-ass 13-year-olds. Look, could I kick the shit out of my son? Yes. Jake, if you're listening, you're a fucking bitch and I'll kill you. But I'm kidding. I love you, son.
Him and 5 of his friends could really probably do some damage.
Yeah, I think so. They're big enough and they're probably tough enough to and smart enough maybe to tackle my legs and swing at me at the same time. You know what I mean? Whereas a bunch of little kids, they cry the minute you fucking hit them. So and they don't know, they're not organized. I think it's definitely the 13 5-year-olds, but Chad, maybe you have a different take.
I have a little bit of experience here, some firsthand experience with this. I have fought children before. No, I couldn't even beat one 13-year-old. You know what I mean? I've seen 13-year-olds. 13-year-olds these days, 13 is the new 16. They are fucking big. They're bulky. They're not little nerdy shits like I was. Meanwhile, 5-year-olds, they're pathetic, right? So at where I say I have experiences at my daughter's preschool, when she was in preschool, and she was 5. One time I was there, like, visiting and, like, you know, playing with the kids and stuff, and my daughter thought it would be funny if everybody, like, tackled me. So she, like, ran up and tackled me, and she's like, "Get him!" And so all her friends ran up, and I had a pile of, it was 8 or 9 5-year-olds, like, piled on top of me as I'm, like, sitting there on the ground. And I could have very easily just, like, out of a movie, like, stood up, stretched my arms out, and the kids would have gone flying across the playground. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been no problem at all. But, you know, I sit there and took it because I'm not going to beat up 5-year-olds.
Right.
I'm not going to beat up other people's 5-year-old kids. My own, that's something different. But yeah, so it's definitely the 13 5-year-olds. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this one's easier. I think with the Bears, we had something like 100.
Yeah.
Like, once you start getting extreme amounts, like if you could organize 5-year-olds, like tell a bunch to jump on my back while I was hitting like the first row of them, like they could take you down. But a 13 is not nearly enough. You're way better off with the 5-year-olds. I think we all agree on that one.
Thanks, Claire.
Too easy. Try again, listeners. Clara. Okay.
If that is your real name.
Here's the next one.
Sup, guys? If you had a clone of yourself, how would you use him to improve your life?
Okay. There was no name. But again.
Sup, guys? If you had a clone of yourself, how would you use him to improve your life?
Just a little anonymous
Is
nasally
that a
voice.
fake robot voice? Or I don't understand. Like, is that one of our friends that just doesn't want to be identified?
There's something a little like voice cracky here.
Sup, guys? If you had a clone of yourself, how would you use
Tim Kirkchin.
If you could be Delina DeShields for one day.
What's up, guys? If your balls hadn't dropped yet, what would you
All right. So if you had a clone of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
what are you gonna do besides jerk it?
You're gonna jerk off your clone?
Wait, am I
You're gonna
jerking
jerk it
to my
to your
clone or with my
clone.
clone?
Yes, all those things.
All right, clone, ookie cookie. Let's see who has to eat it. Who's gonna come first? We come at the same time, of course. He's my clone.
If you have a clone, here's a
Mhm.
little just science question. The clone is made because when you clone, like an actual clone would be growing a baby version of you. So, but what they're talking about is an immediate copy of yourself, I believe.
Clone
Right. So
13 of me, wait 5 years, and then fight them all.
But if it's the exact size of you and it just appears and has all your memories, does it understand that it is a clone?
It thinks you're the clone, right? Like, isn't that how that usually works?
Isn't that
or
usually
something
what
in the
happens?
movies?
Right.
Yeah, this is tough because presumably if it's an exact clone, I can't like tell it what to do. Like, I can't be like, you go to my job while I sit at home and, you know, play Zelda all day or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah, it has no interest because it's just once it thinks like you do, and you have no interest in doing that. Watching your clone
We
play
could
video
trade
games
off.
while you
I
go
bet
to
you we could
work.
agree to like he works half, I work half.
maybe that's going to get
Clone's
tricky
not gonna
because you
sit
have
around
no
and eat all
clue
my
what the
food.
person did.
Yeah, well, the clone is a clone of me. It knows my job, right? Does it have my memories and everything?
Yeah, but you start to diverge, right? So like after, like, say you alternate days, then you're like, oh, I don't know what they did on Monday. Like they had a conversation with somebody you have no.
Well, my
fucking
clone
clue
needs to
what
go
they talked
work.
about.
He's not a freeloader here. I got fucking mouths to feed.
Yeah, isn't there an issue with the clone taking another job? Like, you still have one social security number, right?
IRS is going to be like, sir, you brought in an absurd amount of money last year.
So he's gonna have to do some under the table like type of job.
Under the table hand job.
Yeah.
Those type of jobs.
Pimp him out.
All right, ladies. He's just as fat and slow as me. Step
He's
right
just
up.
sexually undesirable as I am. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no choice here. The only thing you can do is put a bullet in his head, right? Like that's your only. You have to.
What would you do with your clone? Probably murder him.
I'd kill him immediately. It's a nightmare scenario.
It really is difficult to figure out what logistically you're having this clone do all the time, like, and not get figured out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I guess we could split the chores a little bit. You know, like then I don't have to do dishes every night. I guess that's nice. But there's nowhere for them
also
to
doesn't
sleep.
want to be your fucking housekeeper.
No, no, they don't. Yeah, there's nowhere for them to sleep. Like I got a tiny house. We don't.
It wants to. The clone wants to sleep with your wife, like you do.
All right. Okay. So I can't murder my clone. Fine.
You can murder him. That's
69 then. I don't know.
All right, my turn.
Geiger clone.
69, I guess. I don't know. Well, I mean, because is my clone gonna want to like bang my wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy. What's
you know what?
What's 0 times 2, buddy?
You lay here and pine away. I'll go sleep. All right, so we've decided to first 69 and then kill our clone. All right.
Yeah. Whoever shoots their load first, then shoots the other one first. That's how it works.
All right, that's a couple listener questions. Thanks for sending those. Let's eat some chocolate. We got 3 chocolates. Rate them on a 5-point scale. I love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. We are going to start with the milk chocolate, the standard of the 3. So these are, basically they look like Hershey bars. I got these from a place near Geiger and I, Mitsuya, Asian grocer.
Oh yeah, I love Mitsuya.
It's broken up into a lot of different squares. Chad?
Yes, sir.
Did you notice from your... So we have noticed from eating chocolate from different countries, sometimes is a bit different. From your time you spent in Japan, did you notice anything about the sweets that were noticeably different?
Well, they don't have a lot of like peanut butter over there. That's one thing that I noticed. In general, I will say in general, the stuff there was like the sweets and snacks and stuff was all so much better. You know, like not to be that guy that every country is better than the United States, but every country is better than the United States. And like when like you go into a 7-Eleven there, which is like a 7-Eleven in the US is like just a dank pit of shit, like 3-week-old hot dogs on a roller and stuff like that. But like the 7-Elevens in Japan, they're like so nice. There's like delicious food, like fresh sandwiches, and like you can get like a bowl of like ramen there that, you know, like all sorts of stuff. And they have like fresh baked buns that are all like so good, like little like raisin buns or like chocolate filled buns, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes, we did. When we were picking up this chocolate, we did get buns from the bakery.
Hell yeah.
And they're like some of the best I've had.
Yeah.
Okay, so this chocolate, Geiger, what say you to the Meiji milk chocolate?
It's your standard milk chocolate. It's well made. I thought it was like really like creamy. You know, I almost wish I could eat it side by side with a Cadbury, right, or some of the nicer chocolates we've had. See which one I like better, but it's tasty as hell. It's sweet. It's chocolate. It's very well done. It's quality. It's a solid like that. There's not much to report here.
Chad, you agree?
I do. This is a really yummy chocolate bar. I wanted to put it into a Love Dat, and I might go back and revise my score the more I think about it. But I don't think it's quite there. Maybe it's just missing just a little tiny something. I'm not sure what that is. But it tastes really good. I love how creamy it is. Very high like that for me.
Yeah, I hesitate to put in love. I'm curious to what the Himilk's got to offer. I'm thinking that could be strong. It is very good chocolate. I'm going to agree with you and just leave it at a like that for now. So, welcome, visitor. 3 like that's. Let's try the black chocolate next, which I believe might just be dark chocolate, but we will
Definitely
find
looks
out.
darker than the other one.
I've never heard the term black chocolate before.
Remember when we did the Kit Kat tournament, the Japanese Kit Kats. The dark chocolate Kit Kat translated to adult sweetness. It is definitely dark chocolate.
Yeah, I think it's just dark chocolate, but it doesn't taste like a 70% or anything like that.
No.
Just tastes more like dark chocolate, like if you'd get like a Hershey's Dark or something.
Yeah, it's not bitter in the way that dark chocolate often is. I'm not the biggest fan of dark chocolate. I will often downgrade stuff that is dark chocolate, but here it still has like a nice creaminess to it. It's definitely worse than the milk chocolate for me personally. But I could eat this bar. I think it's all right for dark chocolate. I will give it an indifferent to that, but kind of a high level one.
I agree. I don't like dark chocolate as much as milk, but I think this is a better version of dark chocolate than if I just got a dark chocolate bar here.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think, in fairness to people who might like dark chocolate, I think it's a good version of this. I'm going to slide it into a low level like that. I don't like it as much as the milk, but I still think it's well done. Geiger.
I like dark chocolate. This is not like bitter, right? Like a lot of dark chocolate.
Right.
Like it's not like, that super 90% cacao or whatever it is. I like dark chocolate. This is another solid like that for me. This is really good.
Do you like this one better than the milk or no?
I think so, but I do like, again, I'm more of a dark chocolate guy than you two.
Right.
So
Okay, a couple of likes and a different. The milk's still in the lead, but this Himilk, which we don't know what it is, sounds delicious. Will be coming up after the seg. Chad,
I did.
Chad's clone.
While I was preparing the seg, my clone Googled the Himilk. It is. It's like extra milky, creamy.
Oh,
compared to the
I can't wait.
chocolate. So, and then I put a bullet in his brain. All right. So,
would you send your clone to record the podcast so you can get to sleep?
My clone is for some reason much funnier than me.
Isn't that what they did? You guys ever see that movie Primer about cloning? It didn't that was like the main thing. They kept killing the clone up in the attic or whatever.
Well, there's this new one coming out this year that I kind of want to see. That's called like Mickey 13 or something like that.
Mickey
with Robert
17.
Pattinson.
Yeah.
17.
I read the book.
Oh, did you?
Is it a good book?
It's called Mickey 7. It's not bad. Like it's kind of supposed to be science fiction-y and like a little gory, but a little funny too. I thought the book was fine. I think it could make a decent movie.
Yeah, the trailer looks interesting, but Pattinson is doing some wild voice in it, though. He's like, he's talking like this or something the whole time. It's very strange.
And he's only supposed to be the 7th version of him in this book, but apparently I thought that was not enough and made it the 17th version in the movie.
Hey, they got to punch it up. 17 is
It's
10 more than
like
7.
Hollywood always making changes, man. Add an extra digit.
It's basically like people agree to this job where you are like on another planet and you're the person who has to go do all the dangerous shit, like the like thing that like has to be repaired that outside of our ship has to be fixed, and likely you'll die doing it, so like we send this guy, it's his job, knowing that he will be cloned and like brought back to continually die doing these jobs. So
all right, so check that movie out. I was just stalling for time with that while I brought up the theme music for today's segment.
Would you be my clone? Would you be my clone?
Will you be my clone in a body bag? So it's spring.
Really? Hold on. You are so intent on murdering this guy. What is it? Is this just like you've always wanted to kill and now you have like an easy target that won't be missed?
The world can't handle two of me, okay?
That is true.
I can barely handle one.
Reese is just like weeping. I'm like, clone this guy 20 fucking times. I'm gonna buy a boat.
It's for the sake of the world that I would murder my own clone.
Could you even do it? You can't overpower him.
You know, it'd be a stalemate. We shoot each other at the same time. I just think it would be fun to kill someone, but I don't want to actually kill someone else, right? And I also don't want to kill myself. So, you know, this seems okay. Anyway, so it's spring, and you know, we're all getting out in the spring. We're seeing our neighbors more as the snow melts and we walk around the neighborhood a little bit, right? So let's find out what some of those neighbors are up to. Segment we haven't done in a little while, the best of Nextdoor, nosyneighbor.com, as we like to call it. So I pulled some posts from Nextdoor. We are going to read them, and you guys are going to tell me how many houses on a scale of 1 to 10 do you want to live? How many houses away from this person do you want to live? Okay, so I got 7 of these. Here we go. We'll start with sort of a basic one. This was posted to the Nextdoor Lost and Found. It says, I found a can of beans. They are of the Bush's brand. Bush's Best, to be exact. They were found on Marion Place last night. If you lost a can of beans, tell me what kind and flavor they are, and you can come pick them up from me. I really can't keep them. I have too many beans already. All right. Novak, we'll start with you. 1 to 10 houses. What do you think? Guy's got a lot of beans, probably farting a lot.
For a guy who has too many beans and can't even keep this particular can of beans, he's making it real tough for the person to get their beans back. Like, they gotta be very specific about the beans they lost. Show a picture of the beans. Mm-hmm. Show you with the beans in another photo.
Holding up a newspaper with today's date.
Receipt from when you bought the beans. All these things you need to get the beans back.
And then show me a picture of you eating them after. You need to eat them.
But I mean, this person, you know, found something and tried to find its owner. There's nothing particularly bad about this guy who wrote this, and he's got excess beans. So if I'm short on beans, there'll be beans close by.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 2 houses.
2 houses. All right, Geiger. This guy treating lost beans like someone lost their car keys or their wallet or something. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, so is there like I don't shop for beans often. Is there like a shortage I'm unaware of? Like, this is like valuable?
The bean flu is going around, and so bean prices are through the roof. You can't find them at the grocery store.
Well, luckily I had invested in Bean Coin, and so I'm pretty flush with beans.
Right.
You are a bit of a Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
In the way that you act sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thanks, man. I can't tell if that's if you're insulting me or not. Like, it's could go either way.
A little column A, a little column B.
I would do my Mr. Bean impression, but he doesn't really talk. I'm like, ooh, yeah.
What the fuck?
Does he do that?
That was actually not a bad impression.
That sounds like your half-made clone or something.
Kill me. Chad's like, already done. On my way.
I do remember you saying you sent your clone to diddle the bean.
Yes. Yeah, I said, hey, clone, I want to watch the game. Could you go upstairs, the old wife, and play around the old rowboat, if you know what I mean? Flick that thing. But then I found out, I don't know if you did this, I found out my clone got Haktua. Did you? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Right. I was like, and I heard it. I was like downstairs. I was like, again, watching the game, and I heard,
right.
I was like, that better be the goddamn clone.
Is someone up there spitting on that thing?
She's like, you guys just diverged, and for some reason, even though your cocks are identical, I just like blowing him. I was like, what the fuck? And so now, turns out, I have an apartment. Clone has custody of my kids. I don't know what the fuck happened. Turns out
that's really bad.
Yeah. Clone is like, I don't know. She said, quote unquote, a good person. I don't fucking get it. So, anyway,
you want me
he
to
just
kill
goes
you,
to your job. He just goes to your job and is like, they
They're
love
like,
him.
man, Geiger got a lot more articulate. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I have a lot more time to watch the game now. But
Yeah.
anyway, Beans.
It's a cricket game. It's on for weeks at a time.
Clone comes in like, "Brr." They're like, oh, when did Geiger start pronouncing vague correctly?
Oh, a bagel? I will say 2 houses down like Novak. I think this bean thing is a little overblown.
Okay. Let's see what you think of From Beans to Bees. This one is, can I sue my beekeeper neighbor? So here's what it says. Every day I see my neighbor's bees flying around my garden, stealing the pollen or nectar from my flowers. Then the bees go back to my neighbor and creates honey. My neighbor then harvests the honey and sells it at Pepper Place Market for profit. I have never received so much as a jar of honey as compensation. And every day, my neighbor's bees trespass and steal my flowers. I was stung once when I was a child, so I know how dangerous bees can be. The way I see it, this is the equivalent to a person's dog coming into my yard to steal balls or tools, then gives it back to his owner, who then sells it for profit. Just like that.
Yeah.
Do I have legal ground to sue? What type of things should I begin documenting in order to prepare for a legal battle? What would be a fair settlement amount if my neighbor doesn't want to take this to court? Thanks for the help.
Jesus.
Geiger. Beekeeper lawsuit.
Is there an ambulance chasing lawyer that wants in on this?
This is bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of hate both sides. Is that fair? I just think like,
Why do you hate the beekeepers?
yeah, I
Because they
guess.
have bees?
Well, it's like,
They're just making honey.
yeah, in a neighborhood though. Like, or is this out in the country? Like, they're neighbors.
It doesn't say, yeah.
Would you want to live next door to a guy that has a giant ass beehive, like buzzing around and getting my
Yeah.
kids stung all the time?
I didn't think of that, I guess.
Like, so wait, am I doing who lives far away from the guy who's being a shithead, or the
You're doing from the author.
Yeah.
from the beehive? Oh, so not from the beehive guy, because I want to live
Yeah.
in the next neighborhood from the guy that has bees. I don't want bees in my life. Why would I move in next door to a beekeeper? And then he's like,
Plus, you get to keep your own pollen.
right, all that pollen is on my property, right? Like that, I don't have to sue all those individual bees. And plus, he's got the big like dumb hat and the smoke gun and like it's a whole thing. You know what I'm talking about, or
You
whatever.
think this is a 1920s cartoon that you're in?
That's how they do bees. But this other guy is being an asshole.
Mhm.
I don't know. I think they should live. I think to be, even if I'm the asshole or if I'm the bee guy, I think I want to live far away from either one because they just don't sound like they mix well. So I will say like 5 houses down. 5 houses is about the range of a beehive, I think. I don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy, the whole thing's like, he wasn't doing anything with the pollen, I'm assuming. Like, does he have other activities that involve him collecting pollen? That's what the bees are taking, right?
Mhm.
So if he did not specify, then maybe I could see him being upset about that. But I'm assuming he does not, that he's really just looking for a quick scheme payday here. I'm going to say this guy's, if he'd come up with some other reason to sue me later on, so I'm going to need to be a good 8 houses away.
Yeah, this guy seems like a real piece of shit. We have it's like a community garden in our neighborhood, and there was a beehive in there up until recently for like many years. There was never any like bee problems.
You don't think so? Like,
And
picturing like a huge swarm of them, and then in the summer they're stinging you,
that.
and like you hear them all day, like.
They're stinging.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't right next door. It was, it was like, I don't know, like a block or two away. But like, the nice thing was I knew the guy that did it, and like he used to sell his honey, and it was like some of the best honey I ever had. So I feel like
Wow.
this guy's missed
He should have given you a jar, though.
Yeah, for free, because they were using my
They could
flowers.
give you the old Macaulay Culkin My Girl treatment.
All right. On to the next one. Here we go. I'm looking for an athlete or a young person between 15 and 25 who can help me to train my teenager son to be more physical for his contact sport.
Yep.
Rough house didn't happen in our house when growing, so some bumping drills, tug of war games, friendly wrestling, etc. are going to be part of the activities for the person I'm looking for. If you're interested, you need to be competitive, somehow fit, but not overly muscular or anything like that. It is more important to have the right attitude, such as friendly, real interest to help a 16-year-old to become rough. This should be pretty much fun and productive. Perhaps you have a brother or cousin you roughhouse with when growing up, so hopefully you get the picture, or please ask. I'll compensate for an hour of help. Thanks. Geiger. Hour to beat up your kid.
So okay, I understand. No, hold on.
Don't.
I understand. I understand the desire to want your kid to get tougher because, like, my son plays basketball. He's really tall but really thin. He needs to build strength up, and like, he needed to get used to being physical. Like, at first, he was kind of afraid to hit people, and I would tell him, "You got to hit people," and he'd be like, "I don't want to," and I'd be like, then I'd start roughhousing him.
He's like, "Dad, this guy's just in line at the grocery store." I said, "Son, you need to."
And I said, "Post his ass up." So I get that. What I do not probably want is to pay a stranger to just come sock my kid in the face. That sounds...
Tug of war.
Yeah, tug of war, wrestle around.
I'm assuming this is an adult that's going to come over. So how is this kid...
15 to 25.
15 to 25.
Right, so a 25-year-old's going to play tug of war with, like, how old's the kid? Like
16.
16.
He's going to win. I mean, that's not true. There's probably 16
Grab
year old.
him, wrestle him around.
That's just kind of weird. Like, oh, hey, what are you here for? I'm going to go play some grab ass with this guy's son in the backyard. Like, I'm going to get you. Like, what are you doing? It's just like, I'm going to get you. Like, it's just odd. So I want to live. This sounds almost like, if I can be frank for a second, this sounds like it could be also on Novak's Craigslist misconnections thing of like, I want to come touch your child. So, well, that's not really what the misconnections are.
Yeah, a lot of pedos on misconnection. What are you talking about?
You were 16, didn't look physically strong enough. Me, 25, we'll toughen you up.
You were 16, had never heard of Craigslist in your life.
You were 16, getting constantly stung by bees. I'm a clone. I don't know what to do with my life. Can I come rough you up? So yeah,
This is a good clone job.
yeah, this is probably, you're expendable. So I'll say like 8 houses. I don't want to live near any of this.
Yeah, in my line of work, I spend a decent amount of time with teens, and I'll tell you what they don't like is strangers coming to wrestle them.
But they need to toughen up. Their kid's a
Just
weakling,
picturing,
apparently.
Some guy like with a mustache and short shorts, like pushing open the kid's door while he's playing video games. Like, son,
a mustache and
I'm here to
short
roughhouse
shorts
with you.
This is Don Fry
Like an
coming
old- wearing
in?
an old-
Just knocks the door down, puts the kid in a figure 4 immediately. Your dad's paying me to do this. I just want to play Fortnite.
Your mom tells me you're a pussy, so we're gonna wrestle around in the backyard for a bit. We're gonna play some tug of war, and then I'm gonna have a cold one. So I think this whole plan is really messed
We're gonna
up.
we're gonna have a cold one. So this guy's gonna come. This guy is gonna wrestle a minor and then drink with him. Actually, this kind of sounds like a fun job. I didn't know there was beer involved. I'll do it.
Step aside, clone. I want the beer afterwards.
You think Call of Duty's gonna put hair on your chest? Get up here, son.
Wait, so how many houses you say, Novak?
7.
7 houses. All right. See what you think here. Here we go. I am wondering how our last DoorDash delivery person found it appropriate or acceptable to send us an emoji that looks like this. And then they put the emoji. It is the salute emoji. So you know that one where it's like a face and then a person has their hand up right at their forehead at an angle. So the salute emoji. Now, granted, I could be wrong, but does that not look like a penis on that forehead or not? Garrett, our dasher we are referring to, says it is, quote, a salute. It sure looks more like a penis than a salute to us.
I gotta bring it up right now.
I just wanted to know if I am the only one that can tell that is a penis on his forehead, aka dickhead emoji. We found it very disturbing and requested that our tip be removed. Has anyone else experienced such rude and inappropriate conduct from their dashers, or specifically one named Garrett? My partner also noticed a strong smell of alcohol when he was in close proximity to him. Novak.
Whoa, that last part was a whole new thing.
Little twist there at the end.
I did just send you guys the emoji. I guess the bottom part, the palm part, is the balls.
And the shredded fingers in the back are what? The scalloped penis you have? Yeah.
There's just
5 vas deferens on it or whatever.
A dick poking against their forehead.
It's the Fadoink emoji.
My son is a very passive texter. I need a 15 to 25-year-old man to send him dickhead emoji.
Needs to roughen up his texting game.
Wait, so I'm deciding whether to live by this woman who doesn't like this emoji.
Yeah, she thinks the DoorDasher was calling them a dickhead instead of giving them a salute.
It's so dumb.
It just seems like someone I probably don't want to converse with much. I'll say 6 houses.
Okay.
Yeah, who wants to live with this fucking shut-in that doesn't understand? Like, my problem is, like, you guys know me. I occasionally make the off-color joke.
Mm-hmm.
I like to swear. I like to be a little vulgar. This lady's going to hate me if this is her idea of vulgar. Of a perfectly innocuous emoji that doesn't in any way look like a dick unless she's fucked some mangled dudes. So, yeah, 10 houses. Fuck this bitch. I'm vulgar. I just told you.
All right, moving on to a poll. I always like to include a poll here. You know, Nextdoor has polls.
Right.
So here's one. The question for the poll says, ho, as in like H-O, like Santa Claus ho. Ho, I'm looking for handyman to do a concrete. Here are the options. 1, not expensive. 2, from. 3, 2. All right. No. Ho, I'm looking for a handyman to do a concrete. Not expensive, from, and 2. Geiger, what do you think?
This is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I don't know what to think. So, I don't. Am I just not wanting to live by them because they don't know how to text? Like, I don't know.
I mean, whatever. Maybe you don't want to be by somebody that's looking for a handyman. I don't know.
This guy's a real dickhead. I'm making a salute, people. You can't see it right now.
You don't want to live by someone who's got cheap concrete work done and around their house.
Yeah, not expensive.
Well, but I mean, on the one hand, 1, 2, and then on the other hand, 3.
Yeah, maybe it's not expensive, but maybe it's also from.
Yeah,
that's true.
Now, I have to be careful here because maybe they are just like English is a second language, right? And there's nothing wrong with someone from another country living next door to me. On the other hand, they're going to have a lot of concrete work. I don't like to hear jackhammers when I'm already dealing with a fucking swarm of angry bees on the other side of my house. So 4 houses away. I don't want to have to teach them how to type.
Ooh, setting me up to look like a xenophobic asshole.
Their grammar sucks. 10 houses.
I'll go with one house.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of xenophobia, let's go into this next one. We have 20 to 30 million undocumented people in the country eating lots of eggs every day. 2 eggs for 2 eggs for each person is 60 million a day, plus other food products that have eggs in the ingredients. This could be as high as 100 million eggs a day. Take a week, 7 days, minus 2 days for cereal. You have 5 days of egg consumption. That is 500 million eggs a week. One chicken only lays 1 egg a day, most days. That is 500 million chickens. If we subtract 20 to 30 million people, we will have enough eggs. Prices will come down. Novak, how's the solution for the egg shortage problem treating you?
Give me 2 seconds here. Just finishing. Okay, the math does check. That's a good start.
And carry the 35 million and checks out.
And how many cloacas to make how many eggs? Okay.
And this is infallible math. So.
On the other hand, let me check my other math genius. 3 from. Yeah, he's gonna be a while. I gotta hold
on. Not much to say.
This person cares about the price of eggs. They are trying to solve the problem of avian flu.
I mean, I could tell you a lot about this particular person just from this. I can't tell you who they voted for. That part's impossible to tell.
There's no way to know what this person thinks the Gulf next to Florida should be called.
I'm going to say 10 houses.
All right. I think that's the right answer. Geiger, you agree?
Yeah. Guys, I just fucking hate math. Like, just with the fact that he did the math, I'm like, fuck you. I'm angry.
It's a lot of eggs, too. You're eating fucking eggs.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I know.
That's some nasty farts.
20 million people are eating 100 million eggs a day. You eating 5 eggs a day? Jesus Christ, your cholesterol's through the fucking roof.
Them and what clone? How many eggs are we fucking eating?
All right. Let's see. Last one here. Here we go. This is from Melandra S. She says, "Hi, neighbors. I have a concern, and I would like all of your opinions. I have a young nephew who uses the word skibbity a lot. So I searched up the word, and this is what came up. There's a picture here that I'll read you in a sec. So they did a picture, and this, I don't know what they're searching on, but it says, what does skibbity mean? And then there's like an AI answer that says, the word skibbity is slang for, I have committed 5 counts of tax fraud. If you hear anyone using this dangerous word, have them arrested immediately. This is what the AI said. So this is, I am now seriously concerned because I'm not sure if I should call the police or not. I don't want him to be arrested, but apparently it's a dangerous word. What do you guys advise me to do? Thank you so much." Geiger, skibbity.
Oh,
tax fraud.
Okay. Like,
AI thinks skibbity means 5 counts of tax fraud.
I sometimes feel out of touch, like old and out of touch and lame. But this night has reassured my faith of like, I know a salute emoji isn't a penis up against a head. I know skibbity does not mean 5 counts of tax. Like, how does that play out? Like, yes, Your Honor, he has been found guilty of skibbity. Like, that's not, that wouldn't make any sense.
You are 1 account short of skibbity.
I also love using the word skibbity myself now because I find it really funny to go up to my daughter and just use all the terrible slang they use and like use it purposely wrong so that she rolls her eyes. Like I'll say it around her friends, like, "Oh man, sorry, I just got back from the store. I picked up some Riz Skibbity. Am I right?" And he just looks around like, "Huh?" But no, this person is like unbelievably dumb. So I don't think. I mean, I guess maybe just it could be an old person that just doesn't know how to use. Well, an old person that's using AI. So an old person who doesn't know what it means, but also knows how to use Chat GPT. No, this probably sounds like someone our age, like some dumb idiot that you would look on Facebook that's like railing against fucking, I don't know, government waste or whatever. I don't know. I think this moron.
That's something I see a lot is people railing against government waste.
Yeah.
In my friend circle.
This person that thinks 5G's in the light bulbs, I will say 6 houses.
All right. Novak, Skibbity.
It's crazy that like after all the murder and crime and stuff that Al Capone committed, what finally got him was Skibbity.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard he died in his cell of Skibbity.
You have been charged with Skibbity. No.
It's pretty. The whole thing's pretty confusing.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go in the middle here and say 5.
All right. Great.
All right, makes us feel good about our own neighbors. Yeah. Okay. It's time for the Himilk. Himilk chocolate from Meiji.
Meiji.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Gift to the Meiji.
Did you ever like open chocolate bars after watching Wonka when you were a kid? Like imagining the golden ticket in there? This has a golden ticket feel to it.
This is a golden ticket bar. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some math to calculate eggs.
Is Willy Wonka a MAGA? Okay.
Is this different than the milk?
I went back to taste the milk.
I'm super confused.
I do taste the difference.
You do?
I do. I went back and I tasted them back to back. And there, I do taste a slight difference.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to try that.
Me too.
Now. I'm eating way too much chocolate.
And what I feel like it is doing is justifying my original rating. Because I do feel that this bar is an improvement over the milk. It's high milk, even.
Yep.
So I was borderline, I think, on even just saying I love the first chocolate. I think it's good chocolate, and I think they've improved it with the Himilk. I don't know what's different in the ingredients. It is just like a creamier, more dairy milk type of chocolate. The one knock on it is I don't love the like deep pocket form factor of it. I would kind of like it to be just like straight consecutive thickness.
Yeah.
So that's my one knock. I am going to slide it into a low level Love Dat dough. I think it's very tasty. I could easily put this back. So Geiger, what do you think?
Wow.
I kind of poo-pooed like, oh, it can't taste that different. And then I went back and tried it, and you're right. It is everything that's good about the milk chocolate is better in Himilk. It's just creamier. Obviously, in retrospect, Himilk, right? Probably just more milk content. I like a nice milky bar. But no, it makes it a lot creamier, a lot sweeter. I think it's better. I will give it a Love Dat. I think it's fantastic. It's really, and it's hard for me to give a regular chocolate bar a Love Dat just because it's just, but because I don't ever like, I will never just pick up a piece of Hershey's and eat it. Maybe like if there's something, we have s'mores and there's one laying around, but like, right. I don't, people that buy Hershey bars are confusing to me. Just because I don't like who eats just a regular.
I'm so confused.
Well, you've got all these candy bars and you're picking one that's just plain chocolate. That's boring to me. Mm-hmm. But this is really, really high quality.
All right. It was likely already got the win here. But what we're wondering is, will it get a basket of puppies? And it will if Chad gives it a love. Chad, what do you think?
Well, Novak, if you were my neighbor, I would live one house down from you because you have been saying what needed to be said about the shape of this chocolate bar. I agree that I don't like the indentation on the shape of the chocolate bar, and that's a real problem. No, I'm just kidding. Who cares? It tastes fine with the shape.
I felt I felt seen briefly.
No, I do actually agree that when I was eating it, I was like, why is it indented like this? Because you do feel like you're getting less chocolate that way. But you guys said pretty much how I was feeling as well. When I went back and tried the regular milk, I'm like, oh yes, I was right to keep that as a like that, because this is sort of that next level up. It is delicious. It is one of the best plain chocolate bars I've ever had, which is like, not the best compliment, because I don't usually love plain chocolate bars, but this one is really, really good. I am with you guys. Love that.
Wow. Basket of Puppies, I think it's our second of the year.
I will say all in all three of these are really good. Like this is three, which is not surprising. If you're good at making chocolate, you're good at making chocolate. But
right. Yeah, nice work from Meiji this week. Geiger, where can the listeners contact us?
If you are a beekeeper, get the fuck away from me. If you are a clone, if you're my clone, can you please make sure my kids do their homework, and can you have them come over early this weekend? I mean, not too early. I got to finish the game. If you are that lady from Spin Cycle or whatever it is, don't call Chad. Please stop calling me, because you've called me 2 or 3 more times this week. And I'm not fucking doing it. I don't care if I do want to go do spin class now. I'm not going there. I'm just not doing it.
Did you text her back and tell her you lived in California?
No. No, I actually texted her back and said I'm really interested. No, I'm kidding.
I generally feel bad for you, Geiger. Chad fucking made me do it.
He taunted me. Yeah, he taunted me. Yeah. I mean, again, I always say this, like, people, quick aside, but like, I don't know if you guys get this, where like, I'm often in my work on like giant email strings, right? Or like distro lists I don't need to be on. Like, I get constant emails that have nothing to do with me that I could just delete. And people get so mad. Please take me off this list. Why am I on this list? And I've never understood, like, watch here. I'll show you how to do it. Slide it over to delete and say, click. Like, I don't, like, it's not a problem. If I'm getting 30 of them a day from that thing, I get it. But like, I can just as easily ignore this text. I will outlast this chipper, friendly sounding woman.
Wow.
And you know what? If I was going to do Spin Cycle, I take that back. I would maybe go there so that I could.
Sounds like Geiger's asking you to sign him up for more.
No,
lists,
no,
like 30 gym class texts a day.
I think Novak and I could collectively wear down Catch Greg. I think we could maybe, like,
2-on-1.
I'll set the pace real high so that he like burns himself out, and then Novak like slowly creeps up from behind or something like that. And by set the pace real high, I mean for 30 seconds.
You do get to pick where you sit.
Yeah.
So if we figure out where he sits, like, you pick on the app when you sign up to go. So we could flank him on like 2 sides and just like intimidate the fuck out of him.
I'm just grunt.
Novak,
together we have one bicep.
Yeah, if you and your clone were both biking 2 separate bikes and your scores combined, would you still lose to Catch Craig?
Not a chance. I got to fill all those seats with clones. It's a room of me. All pedaling.
He's like, this is a little weird, but let's see if they can catch
me. Turns around, just starts pedaling faster because he's so fucking freaked out.
I will say I did consider briefly texting this lady back and like pretending to be interested and like getting some more details, like, yeah, I'll be there on Saturday or something like that, and then obviously not showing up. But then I was like, oh, this poor lady, that would be kind of mean.
Wait, did you get through the social media?
No, we just had to decide. Yeah. If you have a question for the mailbag, if you have like we've been getting, I want to again thank listener Caroline for collecting those. It's great to have them. If you want to suggest a snack, if you want to think about if you want to let us know what you think about our ratings. If you have any feedback at all, you can get a hold of us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We are not on nosyneighbor.com or anything like that just yet. We will probably start posting things like that, indifferent to dad, from 3. Yeah, so stupid. But yeah, if you enjoy the podcast, do you think your friends and family would, please let them know about it. Leave us a like or a review or something like that. And as always, thank you very much for listening.
All right, last question. You've fallen on hard times, so you decide to take up this neighbor's offer of coming over to make the sun tougher. Okay.
Yes. Times are tough out there. Beat up your neighbor's kids.
You can't actually assault the kid. Like, what? How are you gonna go about it? You got to fill this half hour. The lady's got to be happy with the progress he's making, the work that you're doing. What are you gonna actually do? Bring a rope and tug of war?
Bring a rope and hang him from the rafters? I don't know, like maybe like a.
She comes out, you've just hung yourself. This is the lowest I've gone.
Clone myself, have the clone blow my brains out.
This life is yours now.
Hope you can redeem it because I couldn't.
Have fun, fuckhead.
Chad goes to murder the clone and he gets the drop on him. Like, I've always wanted to murder my creator. Oh God, no. I have the same murderous intent you do.
I think, okay, honest answer. Maybe it's something like you play a game of like one-on-one basketball and just like box them out a bunch, like kind of like use your weight to sort of like shove them around a little bit. That's one possibility.
Tug of war.
Tug of war.
The problem is that roughhousing happens like naturally over the course of like interaction with family members and stuff. It doesn't like, it's not scheduled.
I mean, I like roughhouse with my kids or whatever, but like not for an hour straight.
Here's the thing, too. Roughhousing with
long.
little kids is easy, even if you're kind of like don't know them that well. Like, hold on, let me reframe that.
Like you just want to go around the neighborhood finding little kids and punch them in the face.
No.
Like, that's easy to do. Like, you just beat up some kids. It's no problem.
But like, if like, I don't know, my kids' friends come over and they have little brothers and sisters, and like they know me, but they don't know me. I can be like, come here, and you wrestle around with them and you tickle them a little bit.
Yeah, you can pick a kid up, put him on your shoulders.
But like roughhousing with a 16-year-old is like, 16-year-olds don't want to even talk to you, let alone
come on.
Let me give you a stone cold stunner.
Getting him in a headlock.
I think you would have to do like, you have to identify what they're training for. Right? Are they wanting to box?
They don't want to train.
Krav Maga.
Well, I mean, what the dad wants them training for, like, MMA or boxing or basketball or football, and then like, just play one-on-one, and you will end up
the Clone Wars
getting fit. And then if they bump into you, be like, go harder or whatever. Like, come on, like bang into them and stuff. But it's
Go harder.
Go harder.
Come on. Get me harder. Let's go. Come on.
Tug of war harder.
It needs to be like an organized sport or something, right? Give you a wet willy. Let's go.
I'm gonna shove you in a locker for an hour.
You ever get a 30-minute titty twister? Let's see if we can make this last.
Yeah, that's not acceptable to do any 16-year-old like grab their erogenous zones. This will toughen you up. You know what I heard? If you like crank on your hog for a while, it makes you a real man. Come over here. I'm gonna snake bite it. Like Indian burn his arms over and over again. Like, what the fuck?
30 minutes. I thought the one-on-one game would take longer, so we got 27 minutes of Indian burn here, if you don't mind.
And then after that, 15 minutes of just me punching you in your dick and balls. Get over here.
That'll make him tough. All right. That all sounds like a good plan.
We got it figured it out. Let's go make some
tug
money.
of war then.
You know what I might do? Like the old, we just watched Happy Gilmore recently. What we could do is like take him out to the batting cage and have him stand in front of the pitching machine and have balls just blasted into his chest. That'll toughen him up. Because that doesn't involve touching him. It probably involves getting arrested, but
You got to touch him to pick him up and take him to the hospital after, I think.
Doesn't involve touching you. We're gonna whack you with this stick I just picked up off the ground, so that I don't have to be anywhere near you.
And then you just send the mom like an dickhead emoji afterwards. Job's done.
when Chad is at the funeral for his fallen clone, I think he's murdered in bloodlust, just sending emojis of like everyone just saluting the dead clone. Wow, look at all this clone must have been a dickhead.
Chad's all over the news for going to the war memorials and making the dickhead motion repeatedly.
Oh man, Schwarzkopf was a real dickhead. He kept...
Chad was spotted today for doinking the gravestones of veterans everywhere.
Hold on. The news, the network news is going to refer to you as Chad. My buddy Phil the other day really pissed someone off.
Well-known teen roughhouser was seen at the funeral of a fallen soldier.
Well-known teen
making dickhead
roughhouser
signs.
and clone murderer Chad. That's what I'm known for.
All right. Okay, that'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. Try out 3.
Deuces.
Yep.